I'll say even just the concept of creating a podcast. Like with Forecast Media, there's an idea to do a podcast, but it doesn't see the light of day for a while. Could be up to 6 months to well over a year. Like we're hammering out ideas, we're figuring out who would be the right person to be on the show. Sometimes we'll experiment with someone on the show, and due to listener feedback, they may no longer be on the show anymore. Sometimes the co-host will say, you know what, I'm tired of this person being on the show, and maybe we need to get rid of them. It's a lot of just figuring out, fine tuning, evolving the show, and then sometimes it's not finding the right name or how to market it. So just because you want to do a podcast doesn't mean that it immediately is released to the masses. It takes a lot of planning and, like you said, picking out what works and what doesn't work, and then just riding that bike until you master it.
That last part that you just mentioned about picking a name and all that stuff, I think people spend so much time on stuff that really doesn't matter. I don't know how much a name matters. I don't know how much, your web design matters. I don't know how much your logo design matters. I often tell people the number one website on planet Earth is a box. Google. It's a box. What matters is the stuff that's underneath it that's working. They spent their time on that. Apple, the most profitable company on planet Earth, they got the name because Steve Jobs wanted the name of his company to be ahead of Atari in the phone book. It wasn't like any rocket science behind it. The logo for Apple, the guy who was designing the logo was having block, and he bit into Apple, sat it on the table, saw it, and drew it. I think that you spend more time on the stuff that we talked about earlier, the structure and all that stuff. I know everybody enjoys coming up with a name and all of that stuff, but the name is what you make it once you get going.
Pushplaypods.com